Hello everyone, welcome into Studio 73. I'm Hunter Berube, here today with Lucas Phipps, running for Vice President of the Student Government Association. Thanks for coming in today, Phipps.
Good to be here, Hunter.
And so, just to start us off, your campaign, you've been huge all over Instagram. What can be said about your very active start?
So my active start comes with the principle of wanting to get work done, and wanting to get work done by elevating people to the top. I really like to post on Instagram because when I first came into SGA about 3 years ago, it was because of a friend and I really didn't know what was going on. And I realized people wanted to know what was going on and they weren't hearing that. So I thought, at first I did Facebook, but Facebook sort of became the old folks' website. And Instagram was just the way to do that. So I was able to experiment with that. Likewise with polls, which I do often. That started with a stupid trend where I would just do like, do you like Coke or Pepsi better? Or like peanut butter or jelly? And I realized that people were answering those a lot, that I could make those into something more meaningful.
That's great. That's awesome to hear. So through these polls and all your activity that you have through Instagram, what does that say about you as the candidate? Why should we vote you?
It shows you that when a lot of energy comes around campaign season, that my energy's been maintained. It hasn't come from nowhere, it's been continuing. It shows that I've been working beyond when everybody's watching. It shows that I've been doing my job as senator and that hopefully my record speaks for itself, that when I give a promise, you know that I can deliver on that promise because I've delivered on previous ones and I've delivered a lot of work. As of this year, I wrote and passed 4 resolutions for the SGA, and I also have been leading the diversity committee. So let my actions and really experiences speak for themselves when you make your decision.
That's great. Great answer as well. Talking about those resolutions, can we go over a few of them? Can we talk about the acceptance of all in the gender-inclusive bathrooms?
Yeah, so this was one of our first priorities as diversity committee. We realized that we could absolutely improve inclusivity for our LGBTQ+ and queer friends and family on campus. So we took the idea where there's single stall bathrooms, aka there's one door, one toilet, you lock it behind you. And we realized, why can't those be gender inclusive? Furthermore, another addition to that is we put menstrual product dispensers in them that distribute free pads and tampons because not everybody that menstruates identifies as a female, so we wanted to accommodate that. And then we also took it to actually take with the new residence hall we're potentially purchasing with the Ames building. So any one of these regulations can carry on to future buildings we purchase where you'll get the biggest excuse with these things as, oh, we didn't set up for it, but now we don't have an excuse.
Wow, that's great. That's awesome to hear. That I know that you've taken great steps with those gender inclusive. Can we also talk about the mental health inclusivity that you've had?
So this was really an idea backed by a fellow senator of ours on the diversity committee, which was we really need to take mental health seriously. Physical health is something we're always happy to take a break over and give back to people, and obviously it's easy to get those resources, but mental health, it tends to still be a topic that's shrouded in a bit of secrecy. While we do have a club that's doing a great job, SU Healthy Minds, we feel like we had to do it better. So with the RAM cards, on the back of them already is the SUPD phone number and contact. So we figured, why not cover mental health emergencies too? So we were able to get this on the back, and that's going to be a really solid resolution we're going to get to see pretty instantly. They're working on it in the next year or so, where that information will be on the back of all future RAM cards, and it's a really easily accessible thing for people in terms of crisis.
Wow, that's really smart. That is a very, very great resolution to have put forward. And what do you think going forward? What resolutions do you see yourself completing as a vice president?
So as a vice president, we review the resolutions that come to the floor. We review them, we make sure they're able to be parliamentary in terms of constitutionality, and likewise we make sure they're effective. So something that isn't always clear with the process is we submit resolutions and we wait for them to be reviewed. We don't really know when they're going to be reviewed, and unless they get accepted, we don't really know why they've been rejected. So as vice president, I want to make this process transparent by having a 24-hour rule, which following your submission of a resolution, I'll make sure that you know when it's going to come back to you. And then furthermore, I want to write public judgments on each of these, where I'll give them to the senator that passed it, and then with their permission, I'll post it to the public. So that way, people know how to do resolutions, and people know what to look for and what not to look for. So we have this guidebook that everybody can participate in, because student government is for the students. It's not for the people that get elected, have a bunch of great votes, and then kind of pat themselves on the back. So my goal is to really open it up to the body with that.
That's awesome. That's great. And closing remarks, is there anything that your campaign or your social media hasn't said that you would like to say?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I'd like to say is that my campaign is very much influenced by the people that we hear from, and that we're promoting our campaign, while I have a lot of these policies and ideas, none of it's going to matter if it doesn't feel like the student is involved in that process, so that we're always open to these ideas and always open to learning more. I'm a campaign that can absolutely say I have plenty to learn, and a leader that has plenty to learn, because leadership, in my opinion, sometimes you get the leaders that they'll do everything, force and might, so to say. But I think a truly good leader is somebody that recognizes the skills of those surrounding them and gives them the opportunities to do that better. And as vice president, it's my goal to make really excellence from individuals the norm and the rule.
Wow, very well said. Thank you again for coming, Lucas Phipps. I'm Hunter Berube for Studio 73. We'll see you at the polls.
Yeah.